Maya Daniel met when they were 19 years old. The girl met Daniel while enjoying Christmas with her classmates. He came with a buddy to their company because he knew a person from their college. When Daniel arrived at the party, Maya immediately caught his attention. He kept his gaze fixed on her, and she noticed. He didn't seem like much, but there was something about him that drew her in. They couldn't really talk that night, but they finally met weeks later. It turned out that he had asked for her phone number. Their first date was so ridiculous that they talked about it for a long time and laughed about it. But at least he did something that the others didn't. He won Maya over with his tenderness and generosity, and she fell in love with him instantly. That's how they got together. Daniel was her first love, and he even carried her in his arms. They dated for several years before deciding to live together. The couple discussed their future plans, and they had already decided that they would get married. When Daniel went to a session, he was waiting for the completion of his studies in another city. So, he didn't propose. He was gone for a month, and they missed each other terribly. They could talk on the phone for hours in the evenings, and couldn't bear to be apart when he got home. Daniel proposed to his sweetheart. They had been together for 4 years at that point. Some of Maya's friends assumed that the wedding was happening because she was pregnant, but this was not the case. It was simply that their relationship was gradually progressing to the next level. After the wedding, the newlyweds went on a trip, and when they returned, they tried to have a child. It didn't work out for about 6 months before Maya became pregnant. It was not an easy pregnancy. The woman was kept awake by hormonal surges and sickness. They made it through that ordeal, and Maya gave birth to a beautiful baby girl 9 months later. She was trying to be the perfect mother, so she focused all her attention on the child and didn't pay much attention to her husband. Daniel, on the other hand, didn't have much time to show his love for her. He worked 2 jobs and only came home to sleep when he was exhausted. Because of their busy lifestyles, their relationship began to deteriorate. They were not used to family life and didn't know how to handle it. Daniel couldn't sleep in the same room as them because their daughter was always crying and screaming. He had to wake up early for work, so he moved to another room for a while, further isolating them from each other. Maya loved her husband, but it was becoming increasingly difficult for her to be around him. Despite exercising every day and regaining her pre-pregnancy figure, her marriage with her husband was falling apart. Maya thought that Daniel had stopped loving her, but that wasn't the case. He was still deeply in love with his wife, but now he had to shoulder double the responsibility for his family. Because his wife didn't work, he became depressed and couldn't relax or show his love for her. After some time, their relationship gradually began to improve. Mia was concerned since her daughter was maturing and sleeping better. She spent all her time with the child because Daniel was unable to assist her. He worked all the time while she handled everything at home by herself. It was difficult for her, and she was completely exhausted. Mina saw that she was on the brink of divorce, but she resisted solely for the sake of her daughter. When her child turned 2, Maya happily returned to work. It was as if she had been reborn. She could feel men's gazes returning to her, and she started participating in various activities, finally having a social life. She felt vibrant and was confident that everything in their family would be okay. She just needed some time to gather her thoughts. However, everything changed during Christmas, which had a permanent impact on Mia's life. To bioparties. On the eve of the Christmas party, Maya had a heated argument with her husband. He was terribly envious of her in every way, but he never expressed his feelings for her. Maya was tired of their constant fights and just wanted to get away from home to relax and avoid hearing his constant reprimands. Her husband could see that she was happy, but he couldn't control his envy and continued to snap at her. His constant exhaustion and rage only dragged him down further. Meanwhile, Maya was having a great time at the Christmas party with her friend. They sang and flirted with everyone, being the most unrestrained guests at the party. However, Maya suddenly fell ill and decided to take a cab home. It was after 1 o'clock in the morning, and Daniel was at home with their baby. He sent her angry texts, insisting that she'd come home, but Maya didn't argue. She just hung up the phone and went to her friend's house. They were greeted at the door by Logan, her friend's husband, who carried his heavily intoxicated wife into the house. Maya followed him, carrying a friend's purse and shoes. After helping his wife undress and putting her to bed, Logan returned to the kitchen and found Maya still there. The truth was that she and Logan had met before. They were at a bar when Maya felt sick from drinking, and Logan was picking her up from a meeting. When she first saw him, she unconsciously envied her friend for having such an attractive husband. Tonight, she wanted to continue the celebration, and Logan offered her a drink, sensing her mood. She knew it was wrong, but she couldn't resist. They went to the bedroom and closed the door so Logan's wife wouldn't wake up, and they continued to party in the kitchen. Maya started to suspect that Logan had a crush on her, and her suspicions were confirmed when he leaned in and then kissed her. It was a new and exciting sensation for her, as she hadn't kissed anyone other than her husband in years. Somehow, they ended up on the couch in the living room, and things escalated. Afterward, Maya fell asleep for a while, but when she woke up, she realized she wasn't at home with her family. She knew she had made a mistake. She'd done something heinous. The woman hurriedly dressed, took her bag, and left her friend's apartment. It was already 4 o'clock in the morning. Mia switched on her phone in the cab and discovered scores of missed calls and texts from her husband. She didn't finish it all. She saw there was nothing except her husband's hatred and anger there. Her eyes welled up with tears. She saw that she wouldn't be able to lie to Daniel, that she wouldn't be able to pretend nothing had occurred. Her physical appearance would not allow it. She had mascara and lipstick smeared all over her face. She attempted to clean up by wiping her face with damp wipes. She managed to calm down and pull herself together by the end of the ride. Her husband emerged from the bedroom as she entered the flat. He was furious as he glanced at Maya. The wife explained that her phone's battery was low, she felt sick, and that a friend was helping her. It all felt like the truth. Himra was pale. Daniel had promised to talk in the morning, but they had to go to bed now. Mia let out a breath. He didn't seem to suspect anything until her husband began to remove her coat and froze with wide eyes. She looked in the mirror and realized why she was having this reaction. Logan's lips had left a large bruise on her neck. The tears flowed down Mia's cheeks instinctively. She attempted to say something, but Daniel didn't need words. For hours, she sat on the hallway floor. She sensed that now they were certainly going to get a divorce, and Daniel confirmed her suspicions. He had been going from room to room since morning, and suddenly he came out fully dressed with bags in hand and left, saying goodbye and that he would file for divorce tomorrow. Just a month later, she was already a divorced woman who had lost the only man she loved. She didn't even know where to start to try to get her life back on track. Thank you for listening to the story until the end, and if you liked it, please support us with a like and subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments what you think about the story.